Summer Davis, and this is my senior project. My project. I set out to learn who the senior citizens are in my community and to share their stories on film. I thought this project would be fulfilling not only for who I interviewed, but for the families as well. Each interview will be made available to family members to pass along for generations to come. The accumulating aspect. My accumulating event was the editing and preparation of the interviews, which will be made available to the residents and their families to learn more about the amazing individuals in their community. The setbacks I had. Some setbacks I had due to Corona was not being able to use the camera footage I got. I did not have my own laptop or the editing software, so that was a setback, and I was also going to do more interviews. Some major steps and bookmarks, the 50 hours. Research, which included identifying senior communities, connecting with the right employee who would connect me with the interview, was around 10 hours. Completing paperwork in order to visit location and the scheduling interviews was around 5 hours. Writing the interview questions was around 4 hours. Learning how to use the MSA equipment took me around 3 hours. Each interview in total took 2 hours, including travel, setup, and breakdown time. Here are the images I took along the way. All in all, I have learned so much more about my community and who is in it by doing this project. I am so happy I went out of my comfort zone to do this project. I got to work on my people skills along with learning how to put on an interview. I learned so much about my community that I didn't know, and I was able to learn so much about the people in it. The messages that I got from these women inspired me already so much, and I'm so happy I got to meet them.
Hi, my name is Quilly Powers.
My name is Anne Marie Mulvaney.
I'm Beverly Childs McIntosh.
I was born March 21st, 1943, so I'm 77 later this month, in Phoenix, Arizona.
And I come from New York. I've been here since 1967.
And I am going to be 87 on April Fool's Day, 2020.
My name, I often get asked where Quilly came from. I've never met another one. Unique name.
I'm named after one of my mother's sisters, my aunt, whose name was Anne. They called her Nancy, so they call me Nancy. So on the East Coast, my name is Nancy, but here it's Anne. But it's just something that's unique to my family.
My name, Beverly, doesn't, except that my mother did not want to carry on the maternal Dutch line tradition of the name of Cornelia Mary. I would have been number 7, but my mother rebelled and said no. She didn't like the nickname in the United States, which was Corny. Cornelia is either Co or Corey, and she got tired of being corny. So she said she wouldn't do that to a daughter, and she gave me a name which I think is almost as bad. It means in Old English, Beaver Valley. But that kind of fits with April Fool's, doesn't it?
I think the most important thing my parents taught me was that I could do anything I wanted. That nonetheless was not an easy route. I did lots of things I wanted that were not so good. I don't even judge those because I think in that belief I realized that everything can contribute to how to be a successful human being. And I do consider myself a successful human being. I'm really happy. I have a lot of joy in my heart. I help others. And life is wonderful, and I'm at the happiest I've ever been.
I think the most important lessons my parents taught me was
Basically the golden rule.
to be myself.
Whether you take turns at a stoplight, whether you're punctual at meetings, whether you're honest,
Always follow my own values and beliefs,
all the things that represent the way you yourself would like to be treated.
not to be influenced or follow people who I really didn't agree with.
And they really lived that. They didn't expect anybody else to behave their way, but they wanted to live what they believed in.
Be yourself, because we're all unique and we spend so much time trying to be like everybody else and worrying about everybody else liking us, and that's useless. I think the best advice I could ever offer anyone is to really follow your own heart and head. You can do anything.
I think I would have liked to have been more sophisticated about the fact that people are not always kind or good.
What has defined me?
My April Fool's birthday, there's an old saying, the good Lord protects fools and drunkards. I don't drink, but fools were the ones all through European history who could speak truth to power. So I decided that I would be a very functional fool. I don't follow, for example, my classmates in high school smoked. They also got into their parents' liquor cabinets. They weren't supposed to. I was still their friend, but I didn't feel the need to do those things, nor to criticize them either. It was their problem, not mine.
Determination to be who I myself and to be independent and to follow my own ideas and have the freedom to do that.
Very interesting word, define. There's no really defined Quilly, but there are moments in my life. I think the first time I realized that there were moments that would change everything. This is maybe a little heavy, but my son died. And so my life has this before and after that experience. The most important thing I got from that experience was to face whatever difficulties there are. You cannot keep them at bay. If you try to resist them, they will have their way with you. And not that it's easy, it's very difficult. There are many defining moments in my life, and that's probably the first time I realized that, and I was 50.
Well, I'm almost 87. There's a lot of happy moments.
Oh, well, there's so many different ones. I can remember when my daughter was born or when she was a baby or she was young, really having some happy moments watching her grow and develop.
I've been an environmental activist all my life. I am a field biologist with a specialty in birds. I'm an ornithologist. There have been several projects that could have been adopted, incredibly destructive and on a major scale. And the happiest moments were when we won on the first issue, which was saving 10,000 acres in Riverside County, California.
These are my happiest moments. I'm free. I have joy in my life. I choose what I'm doing. You know, I'm working on a proposal, preparing to give to the warden tomorrow. So I'm a little nervous, I'm excited. And the topic is to improve dying inside San Quentin, because as you might imagine, the inmates there aren't given a lot of, it's not the most compassionate and loving environment. So with just a few little tweaks, it could be completely different. And it's important to me. And that I think it's not only of value to each individual man who has to die there, it's nourishing the entire society to humanize the incarcerated people. And, really, I think making a difference in others' lives makes you happy. I have that.
I've had happy moments in nature. Seeing something beautiful, like say the Grand Canyon for the first time. I've always been a lifetime singer, and I can get very happy sometimes when I'm singing. So I've had a lot of different happy moments in life, and I still do, and I'm very grateful for that.
When we sued the County of Marin through the Coastal Commission to stop wind turbines in Marin's coastal zone. And we won our lawsuit. 6 people, 6 ordinary citizens, sued a $25 billion corporation.
The fondest memories from my childhood are the summers that we spent at the beach. We used to be at the beach every weekend with my 2 sisters and I. And then later on, I had another brother and sister, but we really look forward to that. We had a lot of fun playing in the sand and swimming in the ocean, and that's been a lifelong love of mine. I love the water, I love the ocean, I love swimming.
I remember playing with tennis rackets with my mom against a backboard and laughing until we both wet our pants. You know, just things like that, getting excited for Christmas. I used to trick my mother by thinking I was tricking her, of course. I know now she was not tricked, but I would want to play in the bathtub longer, so I would get out of the bathtub and drip across the floor and go out and whisper really loud like I was still in the bathtub. Mom, can I play 5 more minutes? You know, it was just like funny little warm moments of love between parents, I think, are the most sweet memories.
It was when I was 13 and was given the responsibility of taking care of a beautiful horse, a mare. My parents couldn't afford to buy her, but every weekend I took the streetcar out to the western end of the San Fernando Valley, and I cleaned the horse's stall, and I groomed her and did everything, cleaned her hoofs, and then I got to ride her. And I learned to ride beautifully on an English saddle. I had to scrape her down and feed her and clean all the tack, and then get on the streetcar and come home. That was wonderful.
Who is the person who influenced my life the most? I don't know if I can quantify who had the most influence on me, although I suppose probably be my parents, particularly my father.
My early life, my mother, definitely. My son, definitely. And my partner at that time, the man in my life, was also an enormous influence. Those 3 people, I think.
My parents.
How would you like to be remembered?
As somebody who made you feel good when you were around me and that I made a difference in your life.
At a meeting in Southern California where I was county planner, at a reception, a gentleman came up to me and asked me if I was Beth McIntosh. So I was immediately on my guard, and I said, yes. He said, do you know what they say about you in the development community? I said, no. He said, they say you kick ass and take names. And I was absolutely thrilled. I've never had such a wonderful compliment.
I'd like to be remembered as somebody who cared about people and was a kind person.